Libra, welcome to your monthly reading here on the Astroflower. This is going to be magical March of 2023. We've just been through funny February as well, and boy was it funny. It was absolutely crazy. So in March, there's major changes going on as far as I can see. There's a certain degree of logic that's going to be intertwined between the collective, which I did in the collective reading, which you will find at the end of this reading, or you will be able to find on our channel. It was a manic reading, let's put it that way, Libra. It's affecting everybody. It will be affecting you, affecting me, affecting us. So, yeah, it'd be worthwhile having a look at that. We're going to be going into your chakras, aura, and then finishing off with a tarot reading as well. That will be time-stamped in the description below, so you can jump from one thing to the other. I always say, though, that one thing does lead to another, and understanding the whole reading is probably better. And I think you'll find it much more beneficial if you're watching one thing after the other. But, you know, obviously it's your choice. You can do as you please. Let's just go straight into your chakras. So here we are for Libra for your month of March. Okay, this root chakra is very solid, is very nice, but the thing is, it's very deep, much deeper than most other signs, in fact, all other signs that I've seen. So in this month here, it appears to be where you're putting into place very deep, long-term anchoring plans going forward. That are going to help you enormously to be a lot more flexible in life, to enjoy life a lot more, to be a lot more sort of your energy, very Aryan, because you're a pure air sign, and the root chakra is very earthy. Although you do have sort of you do have Virgo that plays in through you there. At the same time, Earth is not really, you don't really like sitting down doing one thing. And these deep tap roots that you have on your chakra here is tying you into a certain foundation that is really profound foundation within you. And I think this works out of how you want life. And these are fundamental things that if these are in play, the rest is you can decorate it in many different ways, as long as the foundation is in place. And this month here is the month that is going to be ignited, or that is going to be inserted into your life, of having some stability, some foundation that is really deep rooted, that's not going anywhere, that you can rely on going forward. Up the upper section of the chakra, it's very light. There's a lot more movement in it, so there might be movement within your life, but it's based upon these these fundamental root positionings that you need to do within your life. Let's just have a look at the sacrum, see what's happening there. Gotta get your groove on. So I got a funny feeling you're very orientated by your work this month, and I think this ties into this root chakra. There may be a case where you've got a lot on your plate at the moment. Within your, I would like to buy X, and in order to get that thing, I therefore need to work and obtain this sort of income in order to get it. Therefore, fundamentally, I've got to do that. That's how it's sort of working with you at the moment. It's driving, your desires are driven by consistency, by things that are actually working, that are providing for you, so you don't have to worry too much about life. That's what seems to be on your radar, and it's playing out through your sacrum as well, with much more of an influence upon your left-hand side of your sacrum rather than the right-hand side of your sacrum, which is all to do with administration, the material world, basically. And that seems to be the thing that's on your radar. Let's have a look what's going on in your solar plexus. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so you are moving into your summer period. By the end of this month, you will be moving into your summer period in your life, in this year. And there's a lot of potential all the way through the solar plexus. You might find you've got a passion that's longer during, longer lasting than what you might have thought you had in the past. You're going to be able to stick to things a lot longer and actually see them through, which can be a difficulty for Libra. You're very much an ideas person. You've got lots of ideas. It was always bubbling through you. But what actually then comes through to fruition? That's what you've got to sort of be attentive about. That plays into that deep root chakra as well. It's almost a desire that needs to come through in your passions and your confidence and your courage and your fire and your within your solar plexus. And yes, it does, but it's not firing on all cylinders as yet. There seems to be things that there's a little organization that needs to be done in order for your solar plexus to really gather up to the surface all that sort of potential energy, kinetic energy within you, in order to get on, do one thing, stick to it, keep your mind on what you're doing, and go ahead and doing it. And I think this whole sort of floating aspect of your determination is coming to an end. I think it might have been for quite some time that this might have been the case, of flittering from one thing to another. And all of a sudden it's kind of going, and fix. Okay, let's do it. Sort of scenario. Okay, and I think that's more to do with probably by the third week, we'll see that in the tarot reading, whether it comes out in petals 8 and 9, whether that click moment sort of happens to you. And let's just see what's going on in your heart chakra. I think, as I said, I think you've got a lot. I think there's an organisation that's going on. So there is a degree of socialising that you should be getting involved in, but it's not going to be that constantly. It's going to be very select. So if you're getting offers to go places or to go for a meal or somewhere or go to the cinema, yeah, choose it carefully. Enjoy your life, obviously, but don't just take everything on, because that may disperse you and make you distracted from where you should be going. There is another aspect of the heart as well, which is this central petal coming out, which is this desire to be in tune in your couple. If you're already in a couple, it's going to need nurturing. It's going to need input from your side, and I think your heart's now desiring it within this month. It's also going to mean that it also needs that there's a meeting of these two hearts together, rather than one just going to the other. But there is a certain degree of, you've got to be in it to win it. If you're not in a couple and this is what you're desiring, this is the moment to do it. And this is where selective socializing and networking will be beneficial to that. Because then you won't find yourself in a situation that there's too many choices for you, which is not the greatest thing for you, Libra. You're not the biggest fan of choices. So it's going to be a case here of more of being very selective of where you put your heart and your emotions into the situation that is around you. If you do that, there is a good chance you're going to meet the person that corresponds to you, or it's going to be, if you do that, it's going to be a good way of developing or nurturing your couple, your relationship, your one-to-one relationship with the person that is in your life. And it's going to help them to grow as much as you to grow. It's going to be beautiful. But whatever it is, it's certainly in the here and now, in socializing. So it's going to be a case of making those decisions about what you get involved in quickly, and just don't worry about it. There will always be another one that's going to be turning up at the moment. But there is a something to be said. This is where the sacrum comes into play, which has an effect upon your heart, because it's to do with your desires, and much as your heart desires. There is a question of, I need to have my structure in place in order to be at ease to socialize. So that sort of has to happen as well. So there is a certain restriction on there. So there is a certain degree of spending time with oneself. And knowing oneself, therefore you don't waste your time on socializing and activities concerning the heart that doesn't correspond to you. Okay, so let's just have a look at your third eye and your throat chakra. Well, this is really nice, actually, simply because I think the root chakra is so deep as well. It's taking a lot out of the mental side of life, and the heart, the throat chakra as well. So things should be quite logical for you. It should be quite evident for you. Therefore, the communication is going to be evident. What you say and how you manifest, or you galvanize your desires that are within you, and it comes out orally. Therefore, you set off in motion that manifestation possibilities, because that's what you're really good at. It's going to be based upon that logic. And I was talking in the collective reading of how that logic sort of goes in harmony, one-on-one, connecting with one another. Once that connection is in place, and you've engaged your consciousness, your crown chakra, in your process over the last month, if you've been doing that, all of a sudden you're going to notice that there is a certain large swathes almost of, certain selection of society that just doesn't get it. And they are going to be totally illogical to you. And when they are totally illogical to you, there's no point getting involved. You'll be better off getting involved with logic that corresponds to you, basically. Okay? But whatever it is, it doesn't seem to be overthinking, which is good for you, Libra. Let's just have a look what's going on in your crown chakra. Okay, that's really well defined. It's straight as a die. It's got no sort of curvatures in it. Within your mind's made up. You know what you want. You want to go and get it, basically. And with that, it's feeding that energy that goes down there. Let's just have a look at your aura. So there is something that comes up within the first sort of 10 days within March. That's a realization. And then it comes up much later as well. This is maybe what I was talking about in petals 8 and 9. I think it comes up around about the 27th of March. A light bulb moment within your life by the looks of things, because it's very well defined, the step between one and the other within your energy flow, within your aura, sorry. And I think that also comes out with the adjustments that are made within the first sort of 10 days. Let's just see what the energy flow is, how the energy is flowing through your... And it's definitely feeding that root. So there's organisation, there's things to be put into place in March as well. You may feel that the world is progressing on without you, and you don't want to get left behind. But you will get left behind if you don't sort out that foundation. If you sort out that foundation, you'll realise you've got such a good strength in depth on you that you're actually going to go faster than everyone else and catch them up and actually overtake them. It's like the hare and the tortoise story. The hare and the tortoise arrive at the finishing line together. It's just the way they go about arriving at the finishing line. And they go about it in completely different ways. So sometimes the hare is in front, sometimes the tortoise is in front. But at the end of the day, they arrive at the same time. So, I think I wouldn't concentrate on the outside world and their progression. Concentrate on yours, basically, and what's going on for you. Okay, let's just get into the tarots now and see what's going on that front. Let's just see if we can get some more clarification on all of this. So this is the overall energy. This is the karmic message for your relationship side for the month. And this is for your financial side. This is week 1 2, 3 and 4, and there is a change of fortune coming your way. As I say, I'm not sure if it's at this present time, at this moment. I think it's more for the end of the month and April, but as you flow into your summer, things are really going to seem like they're going to really pick up and kick off. A whole new cycle coming through the world. So this is this new cycle, and I think this new cycle is to do with this foundation that you are putting into place. It's really important that you have it right for you, that it sits right for you going forward. Once you can put those little things into place, both on your relationship side and on your financial sort of side, it's going to mean progressing a lot easier. Your karmic message on your relationship side, the Knight of Cups. This is that offering that I was talking about that's in your heart chakra, and I think it comes from you. Don't be scared to offer out love. Offer connections to people. It could be connections to your partner, your existing partner. It could be meeting that new person. You've got to offer it out in order to get it. I think it's a little bit like fishing. You've got to cast your hook out into the river if you want to get a fish. Don't wait for the fish to come jumping just out the river. Go get it, Libra. Let's see what's going on your financial sort of side. Those too many cards there wanting to come out at the same time. Overladening yourself. Yeah, maybe this is what I was talking about, diversity, and having to be very conscious of that within your financial world. As I say, on your sacrum, it was more on the left-hand side, which is playing into this card here, about taking on too much, streamlining things, making sure there's fundamental things within your business or your work or your career path that are actually working. Once they're working, all of this that you've accumulated will be potential energy going forward for you, and learning about that and realizing that this month, that don't take on too much, don't try and do too many different things at once. So in the first week on your relationship, you may feel stuck. You may feel like you're in a repetitive thing and a circular thing that keeps coming back and keeps coming back. And this is where you're going to have to step out and offer things to the world in order to change that. You've got to break that mold, and that seems to be breaking within those first sort of 10 days of your of March. On your financial sort of side, though, it is the realization of things being put into place. She's the Queen of Pentacles. She's sitting at the Tree of Knowledge, so sitting on with perfect understanding from within of what she wants out of life. And she has that one pentacle with her. She's got that security with her. And she's almost got that wry smile as if to sort of say, I know what I want and I know where I'm going. And this is what I said, where there's a realization at this point, which will be that light bulb moment later on in life, later on in the month. Let's just see how that sort of like plays out in the second week. So within the first week, it's a good realization of how to put together your career path and your plans going forward. Once you put yourself out there in the world, if you start connecting with the world around you, it's going to become obvious. As I said, there was one petal that sticks out at the front of your heart chakra, and that is that cup there. All the other cups is a little bit like distractions for you, and keeping an eye on what you want, streamlining what you want, is going to help you. And it's going to be so obvious once you step out there and start going for it. It's going to be a light bulb moment that's gradually happening for you here. And it could be in the third, in this petal up here, that's when that realization sort of happens. Let's just see what's going on your financial sort of side. Four of Pentacles. This ties into that Ten of Wands, holding on too tightly to things. It almost comes out of insecurity as well. Sort of saying, I can't believe it's working. Oh no, this is where you can sort of like, shoot yourself in the foot sometimes, Libra. You can't believe it's working, so it's got to go wrong at some point. that doesn't necessarily have to happen like this. I think it's also to do with the Four of Pentacles. For me, it's to do with, and this is where patience may come into it, being shrewd about what you put your time and money and effort into. In the second week, the realization of the path that you should be going, the evident path that you should be going, is happening within your relationship. And on this side, it's going to give you shrewd or intelligent ways of making the most out of your career path, your job, your business, your projects that are around you, getting the most out of it so you actually benefit a lot more from doing a lot less in a way. That's one very possible scenario for you. There is a case of just holding on too tightly of old dreams that you may need to let go of, and that's what could be that in there. Following that evident sensation in the first week of where you should be going, driving into those deep root chakras, basically. Light bulb moment. Seeing things in a completely different way in regards to your relationships, because you've put it out there, you've got yourself unstuck, you start moving, things start happening on your relationship side because you've invested in it, and you're going to realize that, and that's going to be a little bit of a light bulb moment for you. Let's just see what's going on this side here. Oh, it's a rite of passage. So as I did say, it was around about, I think I said around about the 27th. So this could be this rite of passage of where you're being shrewdly investing in it and seeing what happens, seeing how it sort of equates with you. As I said earlier on, it's the way we sort of present things, see how it works, take it out, readjust it and represent it. This is what it could be happening for you here on the financial sort of front. And it's tying deep into that deep foundation of this is how it's got to work. This is what I want. On your relationship side, it's going to make you realize, kind of going, oh, look, I kept doing this and this was making me suck. I need to sort of adjust my self of how I enjoy my life. And don't put so much pressure upon myself. Therefore, there's going to be less pressure on the world around you. This is the igniting of the changing of the world, basically, of your future. And it's going to, by the end of the third week, and this is what that light bulb moment is about. It's obviously on your relationship side, where all of a sudden you've seen things in a different light, and in the going future you're going to have this plain sailing because you've had control over your emotions in regards to your relationship, and this is going to do that completely new cycle that is coming into you, which is what the world is all about. Okay, so we've got the Two of Wands. There may be travel involved in regards to your work. I think it's more sort of travel in like you've got to invest in what you're doing, and you've got to believe in the longer term plan maybe for you. You're working on something that's fundamentally going to bring you security over a long period of time, and this could be changing jobs, this could be investing in your business in a different way. It's also, to that, in regards to the planning, the Two of Wands there, planning your passion of how you take it going forward. What's the overall energy coming out of this? Page of Wands. Page of Wands, which is a very enthusiastic energy. You're moving into your summer period of your year. And this Page of Wands is that whole sort of, it typifies that idea of presenting something to the world, seeing how it works. Oh, wow, it works really well. Oh, no, it's complication there. Okay, I'll take it out, change that then, represent it. This is that learning process that the Wand goes through in regards to their passions and how they implement their passions on the world that is around them. The logic of the world is changing, and I think this plays in your favour. And this plays in your favour for the longer term plan. So I would follow your logic, follow the logic interaction with the world around you. It will serve you enormously going into April. Okay, there you go, Libra. Thank you very much for being with us. If you've made it this far and you're not subscribed, why not? What's going on? You surely should be subscribed. It would show us great support, and without you we are absolutely nothing. We love doing this here at the Astroflower. We've been doing it for a long time now. We've written loads of books as well. We've developed this concept, the Astroflower, because it goes so much further than tarot cards. And your support for this channel is ultimate, really. It's absolutely beautiful. So I thank you for that. We do energy masterclasses as well on this channel, which are free on this channel. There will be sort of courses that you can go on in the near future. Okay, in the meantime, Libra, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.